Good evening and welcome to Have I Got News For You? I'm Victoria Coren Mitchell. In the news this week, as this year's Chelsea Flower Show gets underway, Alan Titchmarsh perfects his cunning plan to get in without paying. Citizens of the United States are shocked to discover there are worse things you can do to the American flag than burn it. And round the back of Downing Street, Cabinet ministers go to extreme lengths to get a meeting with Theresa May. On Ian's team tonight is a comedian whose latest show deals with the eternal question of what we experience after death, presumably a blessed relief from Brexit. Please welcome Ahir Shah. And with Paul tonight is a Labour MP who's been described as one of the two funniest people at Westminster. And before that goes to her head, the other one was Philip Hammond. Please welcome Jess Phillips, MP. And we start with the bigger stories of the week. Ian and Ahir, take a look at this.
That's the former Prime Minister.
That's the 1922
Parliament.
committee, yeah.
That's the Queen. No, that's Andrea Leadsom. Oh, God.
At time of recording, who's Prime Minister?
Boris Johnson.
It is currently Theresa May.
Oh, right, of course.
But how bad have things got for Theresa May?
There's been another cabinet revolt. She won't even see her main ministers. She's now got a cabinet of two, herself and her husband. Even he's walking out. Everyone's gone. Andrea Leadsom's gone, you saw there.
Do you know what number Andrea Leadsom is on the resignation list under Theresa May? How many have gone?
36.
She's the 36th minister. There's a graph from the BBC.
A graph on a comedy show. This is the third.
This is a graph of ministerial resignations before Theresa May, and here it is with Theresa May on it.
We're at the stage where Andrea Leadsom is described as a heavy hitter. She was a joke 5 minutes ago.
Like, she had that terrible rally. Do you remember, like, Tim Loughton in the street being like, Andrea Leadsom, Andrea Leadsom, and everyone was like, God, what a joke. And now it's like, Andrea Leadsom? She wouldn't be that bad. Let's go for Andrea Leadsom.
But have people forgotten that Andrea Leadsom said that Theresa May couldn't really be Prime Minister because she hadn't had children?
Yeah, as if Theresa May, because she, like, had never evacuated her womb, would definitely take us to nuclear war. that definitely follows. I mean, you're more likely to want to press the big button if you have got kids, I think. They're not a massive pain in the arse.
And how are the 1922 committee trying to encourage Theresa May to leave?
They did a rap.
They're trying to change their rules, which say you can only get a challenge once a year.
They want to do it weekly now.
Yeah.
When is something going to happen?
What, generally in politics?
Yeah.
I think by October, something will have happened. I'm not saying it'll be great, but something will have happened.
Do they/you understand it needs to be complete electoral reform?
We need people to come together.
Yeah.
To do that.
OK, I'll crack on with that.
Good.
You don't need different new parties, or you just need something to believe in.
I admire you personally enormously, so it's not a personal
kind of
thing.
you. Say more things like that.
They've
To be honest,
already...
I think she was talking to me then.
It all kicked off at a press conference on Tuesday. How did Theresa May begin her speech there?
Help!
Sort of the opposite. She told assembled reporters, "It's a great time to be alive." What do you think Theresa May's big mistake has been in her approach to the negotiation?
Entering politics?
Particularly with the EU negotiation.
I don't know, didn't she... Well, I've no idea.
But she's tried to compromise with all sides, hasn't she? Would you say, Ian, that there's a sort of uncanny parallel with the failure of the Holy Roman Emperor Charles V to unify the Catholics and the Lutherans at the colloquy of Regensburg?
Now you mention it, you're spot on.
Too few people have pointed that out.
I bet Jacob Rees-Mogg pointed it out.
But nobody wants a compromise now in the Conservative Party, do they? Because there's a leadership
But
race.
nobody wants a compromise. I mean, the Parliament has not actually voted for anything that is possible to achieve, has it?
No, it hasn't
Apart
voted
from
for
no
anything.
deal. That's the only thing you've agreed.
And it won by 1 vote. And apparently the Tories had somebody stuck on a train. They were gutted. That's true.
Is it Chris Grayling? God, I hope.
Better be stuck under a train.
She might have been hoping to swing voters back to the Conservatives with the Euro elections. Obviously, we don't know the results.
I think I'm going to go right ahead and assume that they've gone terribly.
For who?
For...
That's
Slightly-
appalling biased.
I think that they'll have gone terribly for slightly fewer than half of the people. And extremely well for slightly more than half of the people.
Right.
As we continue this exercise in what happens when an entire country decides to walk directly into a lamppost and then try and style it out.
Do you think, Jess, that by the time the polls close, Jeremy Corbyn will have revealed what he thinks about Europe?
Very unlikely, isn't it, really, that he'll ever reveal it, I don't think.
Do you think he wants it in or out? That sounds wrong.
Shake it all about, I think is what he's after.
Do you think he wants to be in Europe or out?
I think he wants to be out of Europe, to be perfectly honest.
I feel as though the Labour Party's policy is still, to this day, we have a Brexit plan, but you don't know her, she goes to another school.
Here's an Irish politician campaigning in the Euro elections on Twitter. He's quite clear what he wants to do. Let's have a look.
People are asking why I carry a hurley stick. Folks, elections are no more about between left and right. It's between right and wrong, good and evil. And we are really troubled in this country with state corruption. That's one of the things I intend to take care of if I come back here with the office of MEP. If I come back with MEP office, that's going. Vote number 1, Ben Gilroy for Europe. And I'm going to Europe to get our money back.
Can I just ask why you've applauded that?
Probably need to say, by the way, because there's still 45 minutes left before the polls close in Dublin, and the other 18 candidates, I'm sure, could all also break a plasterboard with a stick. And let's go back to why the audience applauded.
You thought that's the kind of strong leadership we need? None of this hopeless attempt at compromise. Bloke with a big stick whacking things.
Well, I tell you what, if you like a strong leader, who said this recently? I'll don khaki, pick up a rifle and head for the front lines to defend Brexit.
Some prick.
Mark Francois, it fits that description.
It wasn't Mark Francois.
No, it was Farage.
Oh,
It
some
was
prick.
Farage. And what's he been wearing recently, Nigel Farage?
Milkshake.
Shall we have a look at the moment where it all went wrong?
Good advert for Waterstones there, though, isn't it?
And for milkshakes.
Fundamental difference between us and American culture, really. President Kennedy, Nigel Farage.
Why milkshake? Why is that the thing people throw?
It makes a mess, doesn't it?
Well, there was a time where people were saying eggs could hurt. You know,
Yes.
when Prescott was
Yes.
hit one. I mean, an egg might hurt, whereas a milkshake, it's just a milkshake.
I reckon it's because the Ramonas are in the pockets of Big Dairy.
It does give the impression that his rosette is spouted milk.
He also just said he was going to don khakis and go over and fight on the beaches. He's, you know, whinging about a milkshake. You wouldn't have him on the front line, would you?
But he might be being unfair. He might be lactose intolerant.
He's intolerant, generally.
Yes.
Other candidates of the milkshake attack trend include the UKIP MEP candidate, Carl Benjamin. You familiar with that gentleman, Jess?
Yeah, I'm familiar with the neckbeard that is Carl Benjamin. No, I don't think that you should throw things at politicians. I don't think that you should attack them. I think you should win by being better than them, which is what I am currently doing to Carl Benjamin. What I find absolutely fascinating about this whole furore over the milkshake is, of course, yes, you shouldn't attack people, but McDonald's stopped selling milkshakes because they were posing a threat to far-right hate preachers. And yet the videos of this man talking about whether he would or wouldn't rape me remain on YouTube to this day. So we are massively over-egging this particular pudding about the milkshakes.
Let's take a look at the controversial notice put up in a McDonald's in Edinburgh during a Brexit rally earlier this week. We will not be selling milkshakes or ice cream tonight. This is due to a police request, given recent events.
That's even worse. It's the police telling them not to sell it.
It is just...
But it's only
mesmerising.
milkshakes. I mean, you could presumably go in and buy a McFlurry.
No, it does say ice creams.
Well, and also Burger King was still selling milkshakes. This is what they tweeted. Dear people of Scotland, we're selling milkshakes all weekend. Love CK. This is the news that, at time of recording, Theresa May is clinging on to her premiership. According to one senior minister, Mrs May is refusing to budge from her planned commitments. The sofa is up against the door. But eventually the Queen will have to let her in for their regular meeting. It's not been a great week for Theresa May. In fact, tonight, she and Philip had booked a table for two at Jamie's Italian. The BBC was forced to apologise this week after, in an interview, Vince Cable used the word bollocks. To be fair, he's a very old man, and Andrew Marr was accidentally standing on one of them. Paul and Jess, have a look at this.
OK, so there's a couple died it out, like it's Jamie Oliver, who we've just mentioned. Yes, he's...
Restaurants are all shutting.
All restaurants are all shutting down. Jamie Oliver's restaurants have closed. They've gone into receivership, I believe.
That's it. Jamie Oliver blamed the company's collapse on the well-publicised struggles of the casual dining sector and decline of the UK high street, along with soaring business rates. How do you think the Sunday Times food critic Marina O'Loughlin described Jamie's tagliatelle?
Presumably not in complimentary terms.
Load of old shit.
Almost exactly so. She described the tagliatelle with truffles at the Jamie's in Westfield Stratford as a honking, salty swamp of a sauce, brown and dusty with nutmeg. Tiny chunks, not shavings, of tasteless black truffle lurk around like mouse poos in soup.
Brown and dusty with nutmeg is my Tinder bio.
What did Peter Shilton have to say on the matter?
I mean, I don't know how we ever cave unless we know what Peter Shilton at one time goalkeeper's got to say.
Peter Shilton posted a sympathetic tweet. Sorry to hear Jamie Oliver restaurants have gone into liquidation. I went with my wife and grandkids to one, and I had a steak with a sauce I specially requested, which was great. So that's nice. Jamie will appreciate that, Peter. That's lovely. But he added, but the kids had pasta, which they love, but couldn't eat as it was so bad. What recent trend may have affected the business, according to the food writer William Sitwell?
More people getting food delivered?
He said, the cost of dining has persuaded more people to cook at home and flirt with meal kits.
What's a meal kit?
It's what posh people who think that they've got no time get a load of stuff delivered to their door with, like, the right amount of spices in and then, like, pretend that they're really good at cooking because they just put things in together that had arrived on their door. It's a massive waste and a total nonsense.
Well, that is new. I thought a meal kit was a tin and a tin opener.
Do you still get truffles in tins? When did you last open a tin, for God's sake? Extraordinary remark to make on public television.
What did one member of staff accidentally serve to diners in Manchester this week?
Expensive, very expensive bottle of wine.
How expensive?
Like, I don't know, like £3,000 or something like that?
Even what, £4,500?
Yes.
Diners at the Hawksmoor restaurant, they'd ordered a bottle of red wine. It was quite expensive, they were given that. According to the Times, the error wasn't spotted until it had already been partially drunk. I bet they necked the rest pretty quickly. The owner of the restaurant tweeted, to the member of staff who accidentally gave it away, chin up. One-off mistakes happen and we love you anyway. Adding, goodbye. When people online questioned who would pay £4,500 for a bottle of wine, the steakhouse replied, in this case, quite literally no one. Who dropped in to help Sainsbury's celebrate their 150th anniversary?
Queen.
It was the Queen. Should we have a look?
Yeah.
Queen went and did, like, a self-service checkout.
She wasn't into 6 items or less thing. So, do anything nice for the weekend?
Let's see the Queen in the supermarket.
I love the fact that was her first reaction. She saw through the system.
To be fair, that's how she got the Kohinoor, by putting it through as a courgette.
This is the demise of Jamie's Italian. Trying to explain the collapse of the restaurant chain, the manager of one Jamie's Italian said, "Things are fairly hard." I think he means al dente. One person affected by the collapse of Jamie's Italian was former England goalkeeper Peter Shilton, who tweeted that he'd enjoyed a steak there, but his grandchildren had pasta, which they loved but couldn't eat as it was so bad. Mind you, Peter Shilton's never liked tagliatelle, linguine or ravioli, as they all scored against him at Italia 90. And so to round two, the jigsaw of news. Buzz when you know what it is. Paul and Jess.
That's an emu. And it's on the run in Scotland. It's been seen in Aberdeen, Perth and Dundee. It runs at about 35 miles an hour and nobody can catch it. They try to put a saddle on it. The Archbishop of Edinburgh has been lowered down on a helicopter to try and get onto its back. So essentially that's what it is.
Do you know its name?
Louis.
He's one half of a duo of emus named Bonnie and Clyde. And it's Clyde. Where did Clyde escape from?
A zoo in Edinburgh or somebody's house?
It was a petting zoo at a care home in the Scottish village of Ecclefechan. Which I think is actually what the zookeeper muttered when he found the emu was gone.
Yeah.
What's Ecclefechan renowned for?
Its inability to cage wild birds.
Tarts.
Beg your pardon?
The Ecclefechan tart is a sort of open-top mince pie which originates from Ecclefechan. Clyde is not the first emu to go on the run in Scotland recently. Would you like to see an emu running along the A82?
Yeah, is it Julian Assange, the emu?
I don't think I would, actually.
Can we have a vote on this?
Yeah, we should have a vote. Who wants to see an emu running down the road? Everybody. Everybody.
All right, quick look at the emu. Where was it going?
We know there's a coyote behind it. Where was it going? Well, I don't know, whichever way that road is. Aberdeen.
Well, it was a trick question because I didn't tell you which way along the A82 it was going. It was going away from Loch Ness towards Glasgow.
Are you auditioning some new quiz format?
This is the surprising news about an emu at a petting zoo in Scotland. The emu was spotted running down the A82 at 25 miles an hour, but was still overtaken by a local man who realised he'd left his change on the table and a little chef in the Trossachs. Fingers on buzzers, teams. Here's another one. Paul and Jess.
This is Amazon and these sort of voice recognition systems that use female voices, and some people have complained that this might be sexist, stereotypical thing because women, as the stereotype might go, are always telling men what to do. Is it something like that? Is it that the sort of idea behind it?
I mean, the report from UNESCO says that the default female voice normalises the idea that women are subservient, docile helpers that are available at the touch of a button.
I do know, I mean, you know, with the satellite nav most people now have in their cars, when they first came out about 15 years ago, the research showed that most men didn't want to do what a man was telling them.
Mine's Snoop Doggy Dog.
Is it?
My sat-nav.
How'd you get him to do that?
He's not got a lot on, really. Yeah.
And he knows the Birmingham area really well.
He really does. I think it's a load of rubbish, people being upset about whether it's a man or a woman's voice, really.
Yeah, I don't think the worst problem of sexism in the modern era is that Siri speaks with a female voice.
No.
It's actually a male voice in this country anyway, but... what voice does your Siri have?
You've got the voice of Gladstone on yours. I'm afraid that hasn't yet been invented, sir.
And what happened this week to show that things haven't changed quite as much as they might have done?
Oh, there was a female producer who didn't take the job that she was offered because she was found that she was getting £12,000 less than a man who was doing exactly the same job.
That's right. Karen Martin, a BBC News producer, was offered the job of deputy editor for the BBC Radio newsroom, and a man was also offered it, and she was offered £12,000 less. Even though, as she said in her email explaining why she was turning it down, they were offered the same job on the same day after the same board during the same recruitment process.
Will the BBC never learn? How many times do we have to say? Pay us the same as people with balls.
Thank God, Jess, that you and I are both getting 20 grand for this appearance. That's right, isn't it?
You've got other things against you that means they wouldn't pay you as much. We're in this together, Flower.
Does anyone know what prize was given to the female winners at the Asturias Squash Championships in northern Spain?
An actual squash? Like a butternut squash. Also...
In a way, yes. A Durex vibrator. Yes. It's sort of mechanical version of the squash. That was, the women were delighted. Let's have a look at the delighted winners. How did feminist champions the Daily Star
Oh, it's the game squash.
The game squash?
Yes.
Oh, no, no.
What's been going on? What have you been thinking about?
He was talking about squash, the fruit, the vegetable.
As a, like, you know, like, as a joke.
I'm terribly sorry. I was making the mistake of taking you seriously. I will stop at once. Yes, of course.
The Daily Star covered the story with a sense of outrage, but it was slightly undermined by where they put the story.
It's Bonnie. As in Bonnie and Clyde. That emu's done well for himself. Done very well.
Time now for the odd one out round. It's just one between you this week. Jacob Rees-Mogg, Steve Bruce, David Cameron and E.L. James.
I think this is about books. Jacob Rees-Mogg has just written a book about the Victorians, which was very, very badly reviewed.
Which was very satisfying.
Which was, yes, but fair. I thought a number of people said it was the worst book ever written by anyone on any subject, which I thought was a good, sensible, balanced review. So anyway, he's produced a book. David Cameron's book's finally appearing. Mm-hmm. This one was delayed for ages because it wouldn't be a good time, what with Brexit and everything. And in the end, the publishers thought, well, we might as well publish it now. It's always a bad time.
E.L. James has a new book.
Who is E.L. James?
E.L. James wrote 50 Shades of Grey.
And the sequels thereof. Steve Bruce.
Who's Steve Bruce?
Steve Bruce is a football manager. Association football is a sport. They've all written a book, apart from David Cameron, whose book is going to come out and he's been working on it for ages.
Together, you've got the right answer. They've all got terrible book reviews.
Yes.
Yeah.
Apart from David Cameron, whose book isn't out yet, but people are already being mean.
Right.
It's going to be called For the Record.
That's right.
And what sort of reception has his book had already?
Bad. Very bad. Everybody's been really narky about it and said it's going to be awful.
One Twitter user said, I believe the audiobook version features someone sobbing. While another said, will the hardback come without a spine as well? And you mentioned, Ian, Jacob Rees-Mogg's book on the Victorians. Do you know what Dominic Sandbrook in The Times said about that?
No, but please quote it.
He said it was staggeringly silly, absolutely abysmal, and Rees-Mogg is a man with all the wit, style and literary elan of a Bulgarian boiler salesman. Steve Bruce, the football manager, writes niche crime novels.
Cool.
He's written 3. Here's the first one. Striker.
That's an enormously big player.
It revolves around fictional football manager Steve Barnes, who's investigating the kidnapping of the club's janitor. Would you like to hear some of Bruce's work? Here's an extract from Striker. Our hero, Steve Barnes, is being taken at gunpoint to a secluded hillside. Fearing imminent death, he muses, I could make out the reservoirs made to provide water to the big cities of Lancashire. These reservoirs, dotted everywhere in hidden valleys, are themselves fed with water from upland streams. The previous summer had been a wet one, and the streams were torrents still. In order to facilitate the collection of this hill water, the authorities, the Water Board, had constructed concrete watercourses. These allowed faster and more efficient collection of rainwater. Oh, for God's sake, just shoot him already.
It's a lot better written than E.L. James's book.
Yes, why has her book been criticised, her latest one?
It's disappointingly good.
No, apparently it's not very good.
Is it not sexy? Because the previous ones were sexy, so maybe people are like, this isn't sexy.
Well, I tell you what, we'll have a look at the cover, I'll tell you the plot, and you tell me if you think it's sexy.
That's a nice cover.
It's quite a sedate image, isn't it, for a sexy book? Just the river...
Doesn't look very sexy, does
nice
it?
trees. It revolves around Albanian cleaner Alessia Damaci, who is a concert-level pianist and chess grandmaster with synesthesia. What? The I newspaper's Cat Brown summed it up by saying, you will laugh a lot during this book, not in a good way. 50 Shades of Grey is genuinely one of the funniest books I've ever read.
I have only read the first one, and I gave that up halfway through, but it is total comedy.
I have favourite lines from that book. As I turned to face him, I saw he had his erection firmly in his grasp. That happened to me once in a greengrocer's. Not sexy. They've all had their books panned by critics, except for David Cameron, whose book's been savaged before it's even published. According to the Mail, E.L. James's latest erotic novel has been badly received, and the author has been subjected to a furious backlash. Someone forgot the safe word. Time now for the Missing Words round, which this week features as its guest publication, Box and Fiddle. This is the magazine of the National Association of Accordion and Fiddle Clubs. I'm assuming the Fiddle Club was keen on a merger, as it was attracting the wrong kind of membership on its own. And we start with, woman takes day off work after what?
Meeting with Sir Graham Brady.
More musical than that.
More music. Woman takes day off work after Andrew Lloyd Webber creates a musical about her. Tina the Cleaner. Don't cry for me, Tina the Cleaner.
Woman takes day off work after having too much fun at the Shetland Accordion and Fiddle Festival. Next, train company may cancel what after passengers what?
Services after passengers insist on using them.
I think that's close enough. Train company may cancel complimentary snacks in first class after passengers eat too many. So they were using the services. First-class passengers have been eating too many biscuits and crisps on trains between Norwich and London. I mean, to be fair, that can be a 3-day journey. And finally, what can be lonely but rewarding?
Life outside the European Union.
That won't go out.
Setting up a one-person criminal organisation.
The answer is fiddling solo can be lonely but rewarding. This is from Box and Fiddle, the only magazine where it's possible to find this utterly harmless, utterly innocent sentence. We did have a fiddler in the family, my Uncle Donald. So the final scores are Ian and Ahir 5, Paul and Jess 7.
Outrageous. Well done.
And I leave you with news that after Tom Daley advertises for a new synchronised diving partner, there's not the quality of applicant that he hoped for. At ITV's new Disneyland-style theme park, there's disappointment when visitors are greeted by the characters of Ant and Dec. And in Kensington, thanks to a special meeting of Beatles fans, we now know how many holes it takes to fill the Albert Hall. Good night.
Hello, I'm Stephen Mangan and welcome to Have I Got News For You? We were hoping we could record this show at 8 o'clock on a Thursday because at least there'd be some applause. Paul, how have you been keeping busy?
I've been helping the farmer next door in his farm to rotate his livestock. Don't have to make them dizzy. So,
Ian, off anywhere nice for Easter?
I thought I'd try the front door. Yeah, no, I think I might try that. Or maybe the back door. I mean, there's a huge range.
And we know you've been suffering from a lack of chopped tomatoes.
Well, I can't believe it, but actually having whinged on this programme last week saying I couldn't find any chopped tomatoes or any Frosties, one of my neighbours left a package at my door. You'll see it behind me, including some chopped tomatoes and some Frosties in a variety pack, which is unbelievably kind of her. I must be the least deserving person this week to receive a package of anything.
I haven't been getting on very well with the farmer next door and he left a package on my doorstep as well.
On Ian's team is Zoe Lyons. Zoe, you're down in Brighton. How is lockdown on the coast?
Do you know, we're lucky we've got the seafront. We're all allowed to go out for a little bit and enjoy it. But the fact that we're sitting here finding this all quite odd, that, you know, sort of an Orwellian new world, sitting here just talking in front of a camera and I've got two men outside in a van wearing masks and gloves.
I haven't had an afternoon like that since Amsterdam in 1987. Feeling quite nostalgic there.
Joining Paul tonight, the Reverend Richard Coles. Where are you beaming in from, Richard?
I'm beaming in from my parish of Findon in sun-kissed Northamptonshire.
How are you coping with all the technology?
I've not been very good. I've tried to Skype a service, but unfortunately I booked a taxi to Heathrow instead. So I've just referred people to the services which are going out on BBC One.
Would you like to see a clip of a priest in Italy during his virtual sermon?
Nothing would please me more.
Buonasera. Ci ritroviamo insieme per pregare, io in chiesa e voi a casa. Oggi è venerdì di Quaresima e vogliamo pregare con la Via Crucis.
Some ideas for you there, Richard.
Thank you very much. Listen, I'm at the white heat of technology. I've got an e-bike now, except I broke it yesterday. So I'm back on my acoustic bike now, which seems to be working quite well. So
I think your mistake is you were e-biking in Leicestershire, and e-biking is really a Yorkshire activity.
How come Stephen gets a little tap of the glass because he makes a good joke? There's been plenty of good jokes this week and last week. I didn't hear any tap of the glass. Doesn't matter. Forget it. Doesn't matter. I'm not one. It doesn't matter. Just leave it. I'll get my own bleeding glass next week.
To help us out during lockdown, a lot of people are determined to bring a bit of culture into our lives. Here's one woman and her neighbour sharing a duet.
That's one hell of an echo.
Refusing to have her plans ruined by lockdown, here's one diner insisting on tasting the wine before she drinks.
Exceptional.
that's given me some ideas for communion on Easter Day.
Yes. So on with the show, and we start with the biggest stories of the week. Ian and Zoe, take a look at this.
Scene of 1950s joy, picnicking when you could be with other people.
That's someone being arrested for taking his exercise. That's a Dalek shouting self-isolate.
Somebody knitting their own body hair. It's the London Philharmonic Orchestra getting together in the way they can now.
That's Her Majesty reading out her shopping list. And she
Gonna have
needs
to adjust that.
chopped tomatoes and Frosties. You want to start with the elephant in the room? The fact that our Prime Minister is actually in hospital?
Yes.
It's not great for comedy, is it? But I think we should probably acknowledge that we don't wish him ill, we wish him well, we want him to get back. And, you know, obviously then we can be rude about him again. But there's absolutely nothing for anyone in having the Prime Minister of your country actually ill with the pandemic that's going on. So I think we should acknowledge that.
Who is in charge?
Somebody, I hope. I think technically it's Dominic Raab, though he wasn't quite sure to start with. He said that the Prime Minister was still okay and still in charge and very much in control. And then 3 hours later, he went into intensive care. So it's we've got some more mixed messages. I think at the moment it's Dominic Raab.
Yeah, no word from Priti Patel.
No. My guess is, though, that given that, you know, most of the cabinet and a lot of the number 10 are actually ill at the moment, they're relying on the civil service. So the one person you presumably don't want in charge when the civil servants have got to do anything is Priti Patel. That's just a guess. I'm just imagining it.
She doesn't have a great pandemic face, unfortunately. It's she's got that permanent expression on her face that you have when you've won an argument with your partner, which doesn't go down well in a global crisis.
Yes, Dominic Raab is the man in charge, we're told. He's a black belt in karate, so he's the perfect man to lead a country in lockdown, as he's used to spending all day in his pyjamas. Who has been the big ratings hit this week?
Yes, the Queen. Yes, the Queen was. She addressed the nation. As she left London, she said, "We're all in this together."
It seemed to go down very well. She said in 3 minutes what everybody else had been trying to say, sort of on a national level, in about sort of 4 weeks, and then went off again. It was, I thought it was rather good, actually. As heads of state go, I mean, you want Trump? Oh, God.
Who has had to go?
Is this the Scottish Health Minister who was seen flouting her own rules about staying close to home to save the NHS? And not once, but twice was caught at her second home in Fife when she lives in Edinburgh, and it's a good hour's drive, even in light traffic. So she had to step down. Her and the New Zealand Health Secretary, he was also caught doing the same thing.
Exactly, and it's a much longer journey for him to get to Fife.
Much longer, even
Much
in
longer.
light traffic.
Exactly. He had to swim 10,000 miles, apparently, and the last 1,000 miles being the most difficult because they were over land.
And it's the fact that both of them didn't just do it once. They got caught the first time, and the Scottish medical officer got caught by the police, but then just did it again. And he thought that's pretty bold. And the New Zealand guy was caught going to the beach, so he thought, oh, all right, I'll go for a very long bike ride and I'll take my car off first. It's the message. It's very odd when the message doesn't go in, even though you're delivering it.
Yep, he called himself an idiot for going out mountain biking in defiance of his own lockdown measures. He was spotted after he drove his bike to the mountain in a truck emblazoned with his own face. The idiot.
I found a wonderful way of ensuring social isolation, by the way. I'm teaching myself the accordion. No one has been within 500 yards of the vicarage for the past fortnight. It's going very well.
How did Matt Hancock stick his oar into football?
Oh, this was about footballers' wages, wasn't it? That footballers should give up 30% of their wages to pay for the NHS, or support the NHS, and also perhaps individuals that work at their own clubs who are not being paid £70,000 a week. It seems to me a fairly good idea that the footballers can take a pay cut to support the other employees of the club. That wouldn't be too difficult, I would have thought. So I'm not sure what the complaint is there.
Well, Matt Hancock didn't ask other millionaires to take a pay cut, did he?
No, he didn't, no.
I think you missed the one where he asked Jacob Rees-Mogg and the other hedge fund managers to take a pay cut and give the proceeds to the NHS. That was a good speech. We enjoyed that one. A lot of Tory donors have been asked, basically, not to take any money in the next year and to give the money to the NHS. It was a great speech. A lot of people didn't hear it, but I thought it was terrific.
How has Manchester City's Kyle Walker been helping and hindering the crisis?
Didn't he get caught going out in his motor car to a party or something, or some barbecue? Anyway, he was associating with people in a way that broke every single regulation that the government recommends, and has been rightly and soundly scolded for it.
Yes, it was a little more than a party. He's been hindering social distancing by hosting, according to The Sun, a £2,000 sex party. He's been distributing cash to local sex workers, which is good, who might otherwise have been furloughed. I mean, maybe they were furloughed. I don't know what Kyle's into. What's been the good news for Jacob Rees-Mogg?
Good news for Jacob. It's an opportunity, the global recession following the pandemic. There's nothing like following the Four Horsemen with some handy investor tips. And I think Jacob's firm has said there's money to be made in that there bug. And he's advising people how they can do it.
The investment fund he set up and still owns 15% of, Somerset Capital Management, have issued a statement saying that the current crisis is a once-in-a-generation opportunity for supernormal returns.
Super spreading the money.
What's supernormal? Isn't supernormal? You'd either have super returns or normal returns. What's a supernormal return? One would rather expect the honourable member to be more precise in his use of language.
This was another week of lockdown, which included the Queen raising morale. According to The Times, Her Majesty and Prince Philip are in isolation in Windsor with a skeleton staff. Well, that's one way of making sure the staff can't catch it. According to The Sun, professional footballer Kyle Walker broke lockdown to have a £2,000 orgy with two hookers at his flat. See, if he'd done it in the park, it would have counted as exercise. Here's Paul and Richards. Have a look at this.
Two lovely mice, beautiful mice there.
McDonald's initiate new hygiene procedures at drive-through.
Yeah, that's an actor called Al St. John, and that's an actor who isn't.
Someone switches on 5G.
This is a story where mice are capable of many different facial expressions, and scientists are now beginning to work out what each facial expression means. One facial expression might mean, oh, Sheffield Wednesday have lost at home again. I wonder if a polar neck sweater would suit me. That sort of thing.
So this is the news that scientists at the Max Planck Institute in Germany have proved mice have a range of 6 facial expressions. See if you can guess what some of them are by looking at my face. Paul, here's the first one.
I'm very pleased because I've just found a new food source.
Yeah, delight. An expression the mice showed when they were given some sucrose to lick. Here's another one. What does this expression that the mouse showed on its face? What is this?
Middle-aged spread. It's disgust.
It is disgust.
Why would what would disgust a mouse? Mouldy cheese or...
Tasting bitter quinine gave them that expression. In the experiment, when they were startled by a weak electric shock to the tail, the mice made a grimace, puffing out their cheeks and squinting, an expression they've been wearing a lot recently as, like the rest of us, they've been having to learn how to log on to video meetings. What have a flock of sheep been enjoying in Monmouthshire?
Bringing new life into the world as their spring lambs gambol on the Welsh sward. I have no idea, Stephen.
Gambling is illegal. They've been playing blackjack and five-stud poker.
What they've done is they've taken the opportunity of exploring a children's playground at Raglan Farm Park. Let's have a look.
Oh, yes.
Oh, excellent.
Oh, look, I love him. It's brilliant. That's great.
It's quite odd to see them on that roundabout, though, isn't it? They've just got no concept of social distancing at all, those sheep. Unlike this cat. Why did the tweets between Brenda Boyd and North Tyneside Council attract attention?
I've missed this one.
Let's have a look. First, Brenda asked, "Just checking, is the garden bin collection back as normal?" The council replied, "Yes, Brenda, it is." To which Brenda responded, to which the council responded, "Just checking, Brenda, is that the emoji you wanted to send?" And Brenda replied, "It was meant to be a thumbs up, but I may have the wrong glasses on. Sorry if it was offensive." Yes, this is the news that scientists have proved mice have a range of 6 facial expressions. Key indicators that a mouse is happy are certain eye movements, mouth shape, and going clippity-clop on the stairs. Right, round 2, the picture spin quiz. Fingers on buzzers. Here you go.
Oh, hang on.
Oh, find a buzzer. Have you got a buzzer?
I've got a cowbell.
Right, Paul, you got a buzzer?
Yeah, I've got something.
I'll hold up John Betjeman's Guide to English Parish Churches. Is that all right?
That sounds great. Makes a terrific sound. Let's go. It's Richard.
That's my ding.
Unless Ian already held up his thing and we couldn't hear it.
I did. I don't think it's a very good audio guide, though. I think I may give up and just shout hello.
Richard, what's this about?
This was the news that Keir Starmer was elected leader of the Labour Party, replacing Jeremy Corbyn, and replacing indeed a lot of Corbyn supporters in the shadow cabinet as he went along. And he made it a big priority to reach out in particular to the Jewish community, which he felt the previous regime had perhaps alienated a little bit. I think getting circumcised live on the One show was taking it a bit far, but we look forward to a newly revived relationship between the Labour Party and its traditional Jewish members.
But very traditional members, if he's got circumcised.
Yes, this is the news that Keir Starmer has been elected the leader of the Labour Party after winning a landslide victory. The New Statesman described the scale of the win as unexpected. Yes, the words Labour and landslide victory don't often go together. What has his convincing victory allowed Keir Starmer to change?
Well, a lot of the cabinet, the shadow cabinet. So I'm getting ahead of myself. It's the government of national unity. By the time you see this, we may have one. Keir Starmer may have stepped in. It wouldn't be a bad idea. But he's got rid of a lot of old Corbynites.
Yes, notable departures include Richard Bergen, who last year gave us so many wonderful moments, like this one.
We want the Tories out as soon as possible. We want to sort out Brexit. We also want to sort out austerity, which has lasted for 9 years.
Polls say you won't win.
Pardon?
The polls say you won't win.
The polls said we wouldn't win last time.
You didn't.
But
Speaking about Bergen's departure, one MP told The Sun this week, "I just feel sorry for the village that's getting its idiot back." Who is back in the shadow cabinet?
Ed Miliband's back.
He is. The Sun in particular was delighted to see Ed Miliband return to frontline politics. What pun headline did they welcome his appointment with?
Miliband of Brothers.
Milli Vanilli.
Yeah.
Vanilli.
Brilliant.
It was later discovered that Ed Miliband was miming to his own speeches.
They went with, "Look who's back, Bacon."
Ooh.
Strictly speaking, is that a pun?
It's not really a pun, is it? It's more a collection of words that don't really belong together.
And you have to remember a photograph of him eating bacon.
They did print that snap next to the headline. Here it is. Yeah. Unable to eat a bacon sandwich. The last time the Labour leader was in step with the Jewish community. This is the news that Keir Starmer has been made leader of the Labour Party. You must have noticed it. It was all over page 19 of the Mirror. One of Keir Starmer's first decisions as leader was to appoint Ed Miliband as the shadow business secretary. Ed is currently in isolation. Nothing to do with the virus, it's just his family still won't talk to him after he shafted his brother. Keir Starmer also appointed leadership rival Wigan MP Lisa Nandy to the role of Shadow Foreign Secretary. She'll now be in charge of dealing with parts of the world foreign to Labour, like the North. Here's the next one, fingers back on buzzers. Oh, that's a cowbell, that must be Zoe. Factory round here is just knocked off 2 hours early.
So I haven't got the answer, I just wanted to blow it.
What is it?
It's one of these.
Is it a vuvuzela?
It might mean nothing to you, but in 10 minutes' time this place will be full of Vikings.
Zoe.
Well, it's a guy who spent a year and a half trying to recreate the flavour of KFC at home. And he's been experimenting with the 11 different herbs and spices and has finally cracked the code to create KFC at home. And he's put it on YouTube and people are so happy because they miss it, because they're missing restaurants. So once a week at home, because we can't go out and eat in restaurants, I try and create a sort of holiday-style taverna at home for me and the missus. I'll play the waiter, she plays the customer. I'll ignore her for about an hour and a half, then I'll bring her something she didn't want, and then I'll overcharge her at the end. And it just really feels like we've had a nice night out.
Yeah, this is Dan Fell from Warwickshire, who's been labelled a modern-day hero by the Daily Mail this week for recreating the KFC fried chicken recipe in his own kitchen. It took him 18 months. Zoe, 11 herbs and spices, do you know what they are?
Creosote.
I know what a lot of them are, right? There's paprika, ginger, pepper, white pepper, salt, I can never say it, oregano.
Oregano? It sounds like half the Wombles are in there.
What food is nurse Claire Stewart? Here she is, now obsessed with, and why?
Oh, goodness. I'm going to say beetroot, only because I've got 5 in my own cupboard.
You got 5 beetroot in your cupboard?
I've got 5 beetroot. I sort of panic bought beetroot.
You panic bought beetroot and I rushed out to the shops and got this. This gives me hours of pleasure, this does.
I bet it does.
She told The Sun that after a life-saving stem cell transplant, despite never tasting the snack before, she was left with an addiction for pickled onion flavour Monster Munch.
Oh, yeah.
We need to self-isolate her.
I'll swap her a beetroot for a bag of pickle flavoured.
Ah, you see, there we are. That's the currency of the future, beetroot. Get what you like with 5 beetroot.
You can.
This is the news that a Warwickshire man has come up with his own recipe for KFC. Now he's got to master the harder trick of convincing people that a tiny pot of 12 baked beans can really be called a portion. Also in the news, it emerged that members of the House of Lords are unhappy with the quality of the food that's been on offer there. The Times revealed that Lord Naseby put 6 official questions about snacks to the chair of the House of Lords Services Committee. That's his mistake. He should be asking the Master of the Rolls. The Sun also revealed that another unpopular choice in the House of Lords is ladyfingers. Don't think I've ever heard ladyfingers speak in the Lords. In other food news, a man was arrested for doing 110 miles per hour on the M1 while travelling from Nottingham to London to buy a loaf of bread because it was £1 cheaper. True. The arresting officer reached for his baton, which the driver then offered to buy off him. Anyone want to see a dog owner trying to trick their pet into eating carrots?
Yes.
From Waitrose and Partners. Christmas chocolate selection, 240 grams, was £10, no £5. 6 months matured Christmas pudding,
Time now for the Missing Words round, which this week features as its guest publication, Scottish Place Name News. So comprehensive, it includes both addresses of the Scottish Chief Medical Officer. And we start with David Beckham criticised for what with his bangers and mash?
Using his hands?
Not giving 20%.
The answer is David Beckham criticised for having coleslaw with his bangers and mash.
Oh.
What a...
This is the headline making news that David Beckham is upsetting people with his culinary choices. Here's the offending sausage. And here's his meal. According to the Mirror, Gwyneth Paltrow made a veggie paella.
Oh.
Bearing in mind the kind of candles she makes, I hope veggie's not a misprint. Next, what TV show is disappointingly unrealistic?
The news?
Britain's Got Talent.
This one.
The answer is the use of made-up Scottish place names by TV show is disappointingly unrealistic. This is an article from Scottish Place Name News calling on TV dramas to come up with more realistic fictional Scottish place names when they're setting dramas in Scotland. In particular, the article singled out one show for using the made-up name of Kirk Darroch, which Scottish Place Name News described as a promising effort, yet scarcely plausible.
Should have been Kirk Douglas. When anyone says, "Are you from Kirk Douglas?" all the inhabitants, they just come one at a time.
No, I'm from Kirk Douglas. No, I'm from Kirk Douglas.
Scottish Place Name News contains all the popular lochs: Loch Ness, Loch Lomond, and the least popular, Loch Down. Next, woman reveals she what in the name of scientific research?
Eats nothing but beetroot and drinks 4 litres of wine a day.
Deep fried herself.
A woman reveals she has filled her tights with helium and has floated over Winchester Cathedral in the name of scientific research.
Woman reveals she had sex with a dolphin in the name of scientific research. This is Margaret Howe, who claims that as part of a NASA experiment in the 60s, she had sex with a dolphin called Peter.
That's what he told her.
If you want to see footage of that, it's on David Attenborough's Extremely Blue Planet. Their first night of passion got off to a bad start when Peter the dolphin got entangled in her fishnets. And lastly, the name Lincoln Doddy comes from the rhyming slang for what?
Pink and muddy. Wellington boots for the gay community.
Dodgy test for antibody.
The looky-likey band Shoddy Waddy.
The answer is the name Lincoln Doddy comes from the rhyming slang for anybody. This is an article in Scottish Place Name News which reveals that Lincoln Doddy comes from Lewis Grassic Gibbon's classic novel Sunset Song. And you know lockdown's gone on too long when you order that book on Amazon. So, Paul and Richard have, and Ian and Zoe have.
You've been very cryptic, Stephen.
Here we go. I don't want to give anything away. We want to catch the surprise on your faces. You're not mice. We want to see the range of emotions. Okay.
Yeah, me and Richard we'll do surprise and shock.
So, the final scores are Paul and Richard have 4, Ian and Zoe have 6. And I leave you with the news that there are fears for Trump's mental health as he proudly shows Congress his invisible budgie. And finally, an important public information film. Chris Whitty was going to do that, but he didn't have the right crockery. Richard, would you like to play us out on your accordion?
Yes!
Good evening.
And welcome to Have I Got News
For you. I'm Tracy Ullman.
I'm Nick Clegg. I'm Gary Lineker.
I'm Catherine Ryan.
I'm Stephen Mangan. In the news this week, word spreads that Rupert Murdoch has rewritten his will to cut out his children.
In Essex, one passenger takes the easy option after foolishly asking a taxi driver for his opinions on Brexit.
In London, one disgruntled commuter decides to put his dispute with the rail company behind him and move on.
Producers on BBC Breakfast deny that the move to Salford has affected the quality of the guests.
And the Republican Party put in place measures to ensure a scandal-free presidency as Donald Trump spots an attractive woman in the crowd.
That's our new Prime Minister, not him. Don't have a heart attack. Justice being done. The government doesn't have the power on its own to trigger Article 50 and then it has to refer it to Parliament.
I actually launched a legal challenge to try and stop the subject coming up on this show, but unfortunately there's
I think we should have warned the National Grid. Because there's going to be a massive upsurge in electricity demand as people go to put the kettle on.
Or switch on their electric chairs.
There doesn't seem to be any kind of plan for getting out of the EU, but Tory MP Andrew Davies seemed pretty sure that Brexit will definitely be sorted.
And conference, mark my words, we will make Brexit a success.
Could it be that the entire nation has voted under a slight misapprehension? They were merely wanting breakfast.
I mean, you were there. She didn't really like many of the Tories, did she? The old ones.
No. Neither did I, actually, but anyway.
Did you like her? Did you like Theresa May?
Anyway, the answer...
It's all right, she's not going to offer you a job.
No! No, I doubt that very much.
Do you still speak to David Cameron, Nick?
Anyway, moving on.
You still phone him up when you're drunk?
We had a visit by an American president. He said, unless you stay in the EU, you'll go to the back of the queue, which is a mistake with British people, because we think, great, queue. I'll go back again and queue up.
I feel like I've come to the country far too late, because before Britain joined the common market, this must have been paradise. Well, it was paradise, wasn't it? Only had to go work 3 days a week.
So, Eddie, you're pro-EU. Who is your unlikely ally who'd emerged this week?
Oh, I don't know. Well, this is a thing. This is a thing. I thought you were just talking to me.
We have been recording this whole time.
Could it be thinking people of the United Kingdom?
No, it's Jeremy Clarkson. If you can't trust someone who punches a younger man in the face when he doesn't get a steak, who can you trust? That's what I say. Jeremy Clarkson said the EU is a liberal, kind, balanced fulcrum in a mad world.
So why is he in favour of it, then?
What special powers did Boris appear to gain this week?
He went home. At the time that his wife was expecting him.
Don't be ridiculous. Well, Alistair Hyam on Twitter thinks he may have been watching too much Star Wars. Watch how Boris deals with this cameraman.
That's scary.
Yeah. Theresa May has inspired the acronym JAM for those who are just about managing. Although, for some reason, she hasn't come up with a term yet for those fat cats who are cleaning up nicely, thanks.
Oh, yeah, this is news that Toblerone has changed the shape of its chocolate. What's happened is the sort of the traditional sort of pyramid shape of the Toblerone, in order to save costs, have actually made the Toblerone gaps bigger. As you can see, a lot of these people are very angry about it. There we are. That's very amusing.
At what point was it not ludicrous that the presenter of The Apprentice in America could become the Commander-in-Chief? It's like saying the presenter of Have I Got News for You could become Foreign Secretary.
Did you see how the news was reported in the world's press?
Yeah, there were some brilliant headlines.
Here is a German newspaper. How did Trump echo Martin Luther King in his victory speech?
Well, Martin Luther King had a dream and this guy's a nightmare.
Who would like to see the Dalai Lama take on the Donald?
Yes.
Yes.
Have you met Donald Trump? Never. What do you think of him? I don't know. Sometimes you see his sort of the way his hair, something like that, and his mouth small.
Well, he was even condemned by his wife, wasn't he? Which is sort of pushing it.
Yeah.
When the future First Lady says, no, he's appalling.
To be fair, though, that was Michelle Obama's speech she just stole.
Who did Trump invite to sit in the front row and make Hillary feel weird?
Was it Putin?
No.
Barack's half-brother.
Yes, indeed, that's right. He doesn't like his brother, the president. Do you know why?
Sibling rivalry.
Well, I suppose it kind of amounts to that. I mean, Malik Obama told ITV, Barack has this attitude like, ooh, I'm the president.
But, I mean, this whole business about building the wall in Mexico and the Mexicans will pay for it, I mean, well, that's not going to happen, is it? It's 1,000 miles long.
Yeah.
They'll get a ladder.
What he's done is threatened to cut off the billions of dollars Mexican immigrants send back from America to Mexico unless Mexico make a one-off payment of $5 billion to $10 billion. Let's see what the former Mexican president Vicente Fox thought about that idea.
I'm not going to pay for that fucking wall.
Despite Trump's claims, not all of the media is against him. One paper has already endorsed him on its front page with the headline, Make America Great Again. That's from The Crusader, the in-house newspaper of the Ku Klux Klan. Before you jump to conclusions, it's not all racial hatred. It's got regular lifestyle items with tips on sewing and basic woodwork.
I think this is the contents of the Queen's speech. There wasn't a great deal there. She basically said, I'll see you after the referendum.
It is the 65th Queen's speech at the state opening of Parliament. What did Justice Secretary Michael Gove's... what fingerprints did he have all over it?
Well, there's some quite sensible prison reform measures.
Because now all prisons, they all have to become academies. That's the plan, yeah.
What had the Queen watched for several hours earlier in the week?
It was the Queen's life, all with...
Told with horses.
Told with horses.
What, a horse saying, I remember the day she became Queen.
And the thing about it is, I mean, like I said, I'm not like a massive royalist, but I was just thinking, like, I love Prince Harry, right? I think he's brilliant, probably for all the wrong reasons. And I thought it would be amazing if he one day ended up as king, because to have his life acted out by horses. Could you imagine?
The Queen is 90 years old and still going strong. So it's time for our quick Queen quiz.
Right. Yes.
To mark the Queen's wartime work as a mechanic, what did Quick Fit offer to do?
Get Prince Philip up on the blocks. Have a look underneath it.
They sculpted a portrait out of motoring accessories.
Are you sure that's the Queen? It looks like Colonel Gaddafi.
It's called the Queen of Parts. Right. German magazine Der Spiegel put a touching tribute on their front page.
It was an article specially commissioned by Prince Charles.
Yes, of course, this is the triumph of Foxes, Leicester City.
I know why they won.
Yes.
4-4-2.
Oh, really?
Tell us about that, Ian. Tell us about 4-4-2.
Well, you've got...
Here we go.
10 players together. 4 of them are in one bit.
Yeah.
4 of them in another, and 2 right over there in another bit.
They might get relegated next year. That'd be funny, wouldn't it?
I didn't watch the parade on telly. I followed it on the internet. You could track Danny Simpson's tag just online. Just people getting off doing community service.
Yeah.
Tricky.
Just as well where you come from, and
oh, there we go.
Anyway, back to business.
Your crisps are shit.
Where were we? Yes, Ian,
we were just raising the level of the debate.
Indeed. How else are Leicester fans capitalising on their team's victory? Well, some fans actually are selling jars of Leicester City air.
Sorry, I'm not.
No, it's going well. They've just opened the lid in the ground and closed it again, but it was still a better atmosphere than you get at Arsenal.
Yes, this is the shock result that has turned even non-football fans like myself into experts. Leicester Rovers have won the Premier Division. It's a wonderfully romantic story, and to think none of it would have happened if the previous manager hadn't left the club after his son was sacked for filming his mates having an orgy with local women in a Bangkok hotel room.
Yes, that's Panama. That's someone handing over money. It's a massive exposure of this Panamanian company which sets up offshore for money laundering, tax evasion. I think it's Putin.
Various world leaders have been building up stacks of tax-free cash offshore. What has the president of the UAE been secretly doing with all his money?
I bought up London property.
Exactly right, yeah. He's bought £1.2 billion worth of London properties. He's bought half of Oxford Street and parts of Mayfair. He didn't get the utilities or the stations, though, which are actually better value.
On the other end, does keep Britain safe in a way. Because for as long as the president of Bananistan has got his ill-gotten money squirreled away in UK property, they're not going to attack the UK. So essentially you don't need MI5, MI6 and anything. All you need is Foxtons.
The first casualty of the scandal was Iceland's Prime Minister, who has been forced to resign. He's also in danger of having his assets frozen. Still, that's what happens if you go sunbathing in Reykjavik. Ronnie Corbett, that one's for you.
Oh, yes, this is the new Mayor of London, Sadiq Khan. Lots of people getting out and voting.
Yeah, this is the various elections we've had. What camping metaphor did Sadiq Khan use to describe Labour's future?
We have to appeal to people outside of our own tents.
Yeah, that's almost exactly it. He said Labour has to be a big tent that appeals to everyone. To which Jeremy Corbyn quickly responded, "We have a very big tent. It's an enormous tent. It's just that everybody else is outside pissing into it."
Boris Johnson's term as mayor of our capital city has come to an end after 8 years. So let's take the opportunity to look back at his time in office. What is going on here?
He looks like a UKIP supporter bauble.
Tim, you've been fighting hard to put the Lib Dems back on the map. Let's have a look at some footage from the Lib Dem party conference a few weeks back, just to see how well it's going.
Do you know which political party's having a conference here this week?
I don't know.
You any idea? Really? I didn't realise there was one. Is there?
The TUC were here. I've been here.
Do you know which political party's got its conference going on here at the moment?
Yeah, that one there.
What do you think of them?
What do I think of them? Who are they?
It's going well. It's going well.
Suzanne, surely you must still be tempted to rejoin the Tory party
No,
and leave all those UKIP nutters behind.
No, they're not nutters. No. They're a great bunch of people, UKIP, and I'm sticking with UKIP. Well, at least I hope, if they let me back in.
You're suspended for what, 6 months?
6 months.
Are you going to appeal?
I absolutely am.
Try and get a year?
Yeah.
Jeremy Corbyn didn't do well in Scotland because people in Scotland don't trust anyone who looks old but still has teeth.
In other news this week, Jeremy Corbyn announced he will be playing Glastonbury, although he's refused to appear on the pyramid stage as he's opposed to any sort of hierarchical structure.
That's a woman. Quite a big, can I say that, big bum? There's a fella she's with, nice fella. Did I get it right?
So, what is the story about these people?
There's already a TV series at the minute, which just finished on BBC Two, and that is the trial.
What, with them in it?
Of O.J. Simpson. Well, Kim Kardashian's father was one of the men responsible for getting O.J. off, and then he died of cancer, and then. This is the massive mainstream news that Kim Kardashian actually came to London this week. Ian, I feel like I haven't given you enough opportunity to show your knowledge on the Kardashian family, so I will give you a point for every Kardashian sister you can name.
Just move on. Let's just move on.
I didn't actually know she had sisters. I'm just getting over the fact that Kanye West isn't a constituency.
You know what? It's a dynasty.
Yeah.
And it's kind of worth learning about. I think they've earned their place at this point. I can see that.
But
no
now, what the fuck do they do? How have they earned their place? What do they do?
In other Femi news, where did women narrowly fail to break down a sexist barrier?
Muirfield Golf Club. They've refused to have women playing golf.
That's it.
And therefore they can't have the Open Golf Championship there. Do women actually want to join this club? I mean, they sound ghastly.
They sound awful. Not a member of a club yourself, old boy?
A member of a couple of clubs.
Yeah, tell us.
He's in the Alzheimer's League.
Yes, top BBC golfing commentator Peter Allis told The Telegraph, if you want to join, get married to a member. The wives can use all the facilities at the club for free. The clubhouse is full of bloody women. They love going there for nothing. Does he even know how competitive the marry a rich old white guy market is? Like, how many Jerry Halls do I have to punch in the tit just to get a free gin and tonic?
Well, that looks like Heathrow.
Good news.
Yeah.
Good news for people who live near Gatwick.
It might not happen. It's got to meet all these requirements.
But aren't they European requirements, so that's not really going to be any...
No, that's not a problem.
But don't the aeroplanes have to go from here to somewhere? So that might still be a European thing.
Oh, yes, absolutely. Yeah.
It might just be internal flights after Brexit. I don't think anyone's going anywhere, and they're certainly not coming here.
Depends how big it is. Maybe you get a flight from Terminal 6 to Terminal 1.
Can I be narrowly parochial for a moment?
Oh, God, is this the Rhondda?
Yes, it is. I'm sorry, well, you know, just for the rest of the country, I think you'll find that Gatwick's really on the wrong side of London.
It's the right side of London for most of the rest of the world. How much do you think we'll make from it financially as a country?
Bazillions.
Sorry, how many?
Bazillions.
I thought you said Brazilian.
No, I didn't.
That was just a random thought you were sitting there.
We'll be rich enough for every citizen to get a free waxing. Whether they want it or not.
It's the future for our economy.
Exactly.
I think we could be the waxing hub of the world.
Exactly. We could become the rip-off merchants of the globe. You're getting it now. Some of you saw it on teletext at the bottom, didn't you? Coming through.
Yes, Boris has been vocal against it, and has he resigned too?
No.
Has he not?
He's written a couple of pieces, one pro...
Boris Johnson is on record as saying that if a third runway at Heathrow went ahead, he would lie down in front of the bulldozers. I think the only word of that any of us believe is lie.
In the final of Robot MasterChef, the title's in the bag for the ZX-1E, unless he makes a mistake with the boiled egg.
On his way to Crufts, one impatient driver gets stuck in a traffic jam.
More extraordinary footage emerges on Planet Earth 2 when David Attenborough goes filming as the pubs close in Glasgow.
The BBC news reaches the dressing room that Piers Morgan has pulled out of Question Time.
And after a long day's recording, there's a sense of déjà vu for the producers of Top Gear as they failed to provide Chris Evans with a steak.
And so to round 2. Shall we play a game of whose bald bonce is this?
Yes.
Right, teams, fingers on buzzers. Here's your first bald bonce. Who's that?
Ian Duncan Smith.
Yes, it is.
Hey!
Ian, you made him cry, didn't you?
I did. I made a documentary about Victorian benefits, and I asked him some questions about the poor law and workhouses, and he suddenly started crying when he told me about this young girl who had no start in life, and he wanted to help. And then people said, well, what did you do when he cried? Did you comfort him? And I said, no, it's Ian Duncan Smith.
Who's that?
Bobby Charlton.
Right profession.
Somebody old in football, is that it?
Well, he will be thrilled to hear that. It's Ray Wilkins.
Has he been in the news?
He hasn't. Suck it up.
I mean, this game needs a little bit of refining, I think.
Fingers on buzzers. Why are there 12 stars on the EU flag?
Is that how many times we've won the World Cup?
You have to press your button. Jason?
It's us.
What? Oh, sorry. That's one of the things they test you when you go into university. Can you spot a light coming on?
I was looking over there. I didn't know there were lights.
It's nice in the winter months, though. What was the question? Because there was originally 12 member states.
No.
No.
There is no reason. There just are 12 arranged in a circle that apparently symbolises unity.
Yeah.
Or it may not. In 1866, Liechtenstein sent its entire army of 80 soldiers off to the Austro-Prussian War. What was unusual about the number of soldiers that returned? Merton?
Do I have to go like this?
He wasn't at Merton. Merton, life.
Yeah.
Jason,
it was
Hislop.
more.
What?
It was more, I was going to say.
Yes, do you know the...
I don't know. Is that the actual answer? Yeah, because when they got there, they just started chatting to me. It's dead nice. Really nice.
Lovely uniform.
Oh, yeah, they look after you.
Yes, 80 went to war and 81 came back. They'd been forbidden to engage in any form of military combat, so none were killed. And then an Italian joined up because he was looking for work.
Goose has been travelling on the train without a season ticket. It's been travelling from Brighton to Guildford for the last 5 years, and it's not its card, it's using somebody else's.
Well, that's nearly right, but it's a duck on an aeroplane.
Oh, it's a duck on an aeroplane.
This is the news that Duck has been providing comfort to nervous flyers on a flight across America. He quacks to soothe his nervous owner and is called an emotional support duck.
This just made this up.
According to the Telegraph, Daniel the duck was wearing little red booties.
Brilliant. Well, if I was having an anxiety attack on a plane, the sight of a duck in little red boots would not calm me at all.
How did he pass the time mid-flight, for example?
How did he pass the time?
Given that we'd never heard of him before this.
He looked out the window. Having a gander. Thank you. Should we move on to other animal news?
Why not?
Yes.
Other animal news, yeah.
Yes. What record has a Peterborough hen set this week?
Most eggs.
Yeah, it laid the biggest ever egg.
Wow.
Here it is.
Whoa! Do we not get a picture of the chicken that laid that egg?
No, it's in intensive care.
Is it Essex women?
That's it, yes. The term Essex girl is in the dictionary. And this is the news that 2 girls from Essex are trying to get that term removed. Collins defines it as a young working-class woman from the Essex area. Doesn't seem too bad.
That's all right.
Typically considered as being unintelligent, materialistic, devoid of taste, and sexually promiscuous. Why would anyone have a problem with that? Who's come out in support of Juliet and Natasha's campaign?
The Archbishop of Canterbury.
No, it was in fact a star of Ian's favourite show, Gemma Collins. Here she is.
It is absolutely outrageous in today's society that the dictionary, which I'm a massive fan of the dictionary, you know, we should be, like, promoting the dictionary anyway because, like, it is such an amazing, like, historical British thing, isn't it?
Every story ever written's in the dictionary. Yeah. You're just going to put the words in the right order.
Oh, yes.
Yes. It's a Samsung phone, the Galaxy 7 or something. It's catching fire. It's one of the things it's not meant to do. You're meant to be able to get... It's got a fire app on it.
That's the right answer,
The right
basically.
answer.
Yeah, this is the new Samsung have scrapped its Galaxy Note 7 after the phones keep exploding. Why is this particularly damaging for Samsung?
Well, they're a phone company.
Yes. Samsung also supplied customers with an elaborate kit to return their phones, which included a static shield that needs to be put inside a box, inside another box, inside a final flame-proof box. And they thoughtfully provided a phone number customers could call. Or a hotline, if you
Time now for the odd one out round. Marina Stepanova, MC Hammer, Sarah Blizzard, and Dr. Henry Heimlich.
Out of all those, Dr. Henry Heimlich, who invented the Heimlich manoeuvre, this was an interesting story. Last week, I think he's in a sort of care home now, sort of thing. He's at the age of 96, and a fellow resident started choking, and he was on hand to do the Heimlich manoeuvre, and it's the first time ever he's ever actually been called upon to do it. And save this woman's life. There, he's obviously attacking that woman, so he's got a dark side to him. So who are the other people that you mentioned?
Marina Stepanova.
Yeah.
She does the hurdles.
Yeah, that's... Well, Stepanova, yeah.
400-metre hurdles, though.
Yeah.
Really high.
Bottom left, Sarah Blizzard, did you
Sarah
say?
Blizzard.
She's a weather woman.
Sarah Blizzard is a weather presenter for East Midlands Today, taking over from the much-loved Karen Pissing It Down. Yes, they all have highly appropriate names, apart from MC Hammer, who recently revealed that he's scared of hammering. In a recent interview, he said, using hammers is always a scary proposition, man. You can hit your fingers. How did Dr. Heimlich play a pivotal role in the engagement of Carrie Fisher and Dan Aykroyd?
Did Carrie Fisher do the Heimlich manoeuvre to Dan Aykroyd?
No.
Dan's doing it to Carrie.
Dan saved Carrie's life by performing the Heimlich manoeuvre after she choked on a Brussels sprout. Why, that's funny.
Bloody Brussels.
There are loads of great names. Buzz, if you can tell me the occupation of the following people. These are all genuine. Les McBurney.
Fireman.
Yes, from Wisconsin.
Yeah.
Bath Toothman.
Plumber. Dentist.
Very good, dentist. Mark DeMann.
Rapper.
Professional
footballer.
Professional killer.
He's a footballer. Ian, of course, you'd get that. Yeah, he's
the
a
full name.
He was Belgian.
Mark Demand, a defender, I would guess.
Yes.
Wait a minute. There's something strange going on here.
Yes.
Ian Hislop's voice isn't quite the same as it normally is. And the Ian Hislop I know knows nothing about football.
It's Ross Kemp in an Ian Hislop suit.
Leave it out.
The instance of a name being linked to what you do is known as nominative determinism, a phrase first suggested by linguistics expert Norman Attiv and his German colleague Dieter Minism.
This has got an end of series feel about it, doesn't it? You wouldn't have dared put out on the first show.
All the jokes that got left lying around.
Exactly. Scrape them up.
I'll do them.
Yeah.
Pot black snooker, the Miami tribe, the Natural Environment Research Council's polar research vessel, and the fossilised egg of an elephant bird.
Well, we know about the polar vessel because people voted for it to be called Boaty McBoatface. And Boring McBoringface in the government decided that was wrong because they're going to call it the Sir David Attenborough. But that prompted a petition, rather wonderfully, for Sir David Attenborough to change his name by deed poll to Sir David McDavidface.
So it's about changing your name? It's not called Pot Black anymore.
Yeah.
Every colour is equal, it's called now.
Is there a link to David Attenborough here?
Yes, because David Attenborough was the controller of BBC Two when he commissioned Pot Black back in 1969. Because it was a programme made for colour TV, as it was.
Did he discover all these apart from which one didn't he? He didn't discover that. He didn't discover that, but he was named after it or something.
Is the right answer.
Yeah.
They're all known thanks to the work of Sir David Attenborough, apart from the UK's new polar research vessel, which is going to be named after him. I don't know if you followed the whole Boaty McBoatface thing. I thought it could have gone a lot worse if you were asking the British public to decide on something. They're lucky it wasn't called Harold Shipman. I sort of feel bad for not getting the joke. Everybody loved it. I just think putting Mac in front of something doesn't necessarily make it funny. Look at Michael McIntyre. Naming contests are notorious for going awry. What forced American fizzy drinks brand Mountain Dew to ignore a public vote to name its new apple-flavoured drink in 2012? It was won by the name Hitler Did Nothing Wrong.
Submitted by Ken.
So was it pick Mountain Dew?
Mountain Dew. The hitherto unknown Miami tribe of Papua New Guinea were discovered by David Attenborough while filming a documentary in 1971. What did David Attenborough do with the egg from the gigantic but extinct elephant bird?
He had to put it together because,
he did.
yes, put it all back together.
He reconstructed it from over 1,000 pieces. Here's what he started out with. And here's his first attempt. Sir David was so delighted to hear that a boat had been named after him that he celebrated his birthday by cracking a bottle of champagne across his own face. What could be a more appropriate 90th birthday gift for David Attenborough than to give his name to a polar research vessel as they both begin a long, cold journey to a place of endless night? Happy birthday, Sir David.
Time now for the missing words round. And we start with gouty-legged ninnycock, hollow mouth, and cucumber what?
Sandwich. Still in charge of Brexit negotiations.
New look Spice Girls are back.
The answer is, we'll help you swear like an Elizabethan. Language historian Dr. Todd Gray, MBE, has been researching Britain's best old-fashioned swear words, also including nippy, tarse and whittle. And before you write in to complain, I can use these words as it's after the 1648 watershed.
Next. What now goes by the less insulting nickname?
Fuckface McGee. That's the only one I can think of.
The answer is Dopey Dick the Killer Whale. Now goes by less insulting nickname. Dopey Dick was a killer whale who first came to Northern Ireland in the 70s, and he's now Minister for Education in the Stormont government.
Next. Short-sighted baker, what?
Pours chocolate sauce over Labrador.
Ice his own paunch.
That's excellent. I think that's the best answer we've ever had. Ices his own paunch. That's a fantastic sentence. It's poetry. That should be the answer to every single question from now on.
Do you know what he did? Baked glasses into a loaf. And here they are.
Next, bus disguised as brick wall what? Heads for Mexican border.
Bus disguised as brick wall, seek similar.
It's bus disguised as brick wall turns heads in Liverpool. Here is the bus.
Next, if you what, you can expect long periods of disappointment punctuated by instances of joy.
If you support Leicester City.
Is it if you are alive?
Oh, Ian. If you search for pens in the flea markets of France, you can expect long periods of disappointment punctuated by instances of joy.
Next. Thanks to what, it's a good time to be in bathrooms.
The return of the colour avocado.
Yes. Norovirus.
Smart showers, remote lighting and Bluetooth integrated speakers. Next. Man wakes up to discover he's what?
Donald Trump. Piers Morgan.
Skydiving.
No. Man wakes up to discover he's bought a yak online. Yes, an American man
Is there a special button on the computer you should never press?
An American man took sleeping pills and awoke the next day to find he'd been shopping at an online company called Yaks and Things. The unnamed man cancelled the order for over $3,000, explaining, "I'm not Baron Moneybags von Richfuck." We should stop using that name. Jerry Hall is Googling it and looking for wedding venues.
And finally, thanks to what, Milkman makes a comeback.
Milk! In bottles. Milk in bottles.
Yeah, in trendy parts of London, they want milk in bottles because it's somehow real.
Yeah.
Yes, thanks to London hipsters, Milkman makes a comeback.
Yeah.
Yes. Hipster milk comes in skimmed, semi-skimmed and full twat.
Before we go, there's just time for the caption competition.
Don't put your keys in me, I'm not a handbag yet.
Is it a meeting of you, Kip?
Oh, very good.
See, there's only one of them. See, I was thinking it was looking at a bus and going, 350 million of rubbish! Put that on there. The Empire Strikes Bake. We're just bodyguards, don't you think? To protect her from being stolen by Channel 4. They've got Imperial stormtroopers surrounding Mary at all moments. Paul Hollywood, little droid. Mary.
You're having one of your turns again, Ian. You wanted me to point it out the next time it happens, remember?
Thanks, sorry.
He gets a nosebleed when he starts dealing with popular culture.
And I leave you with news that arriving in Brussels for a mini break, one woman gets a nasty surprise as she tries to change her pounds into euros.
At Claridge's in London, the chefs react quickly as Gordon Ramsay falls into the deep fat fryer.
An old showbiz double act are forced to go back on the road with their Catch the Peanut routine.
And as more revelations about BHS emerge, Philip Green poses for a photo shoot in a doomed attempt to show he's not a prick.